In this episode of Highlight Sundays, an entire episode dedicated to the weird and the wacky. Hello and welcome back to Highlight Sundays. It is the 13th week of 2013 and here are your highlights. As promised, we start off with the crazy right off the bat. Our first article comes from Engadget and is entitled LG issued patent for the 2010 era tri-screen smartphone that never was. Now, when the Nintendo DS first came out, we were like, wow, two screens on the same device, that's really cool. Well, wait till you see this idea from LG. It is a phone that slides open on both sides, giving you a grand total of 3 screens. Now, according to the article, this patent was submitted in 2010. Nothing has come out of it yet, so it is believed that this project has been abandoned. Like the article says, this does not spell the end of multiple screen devices. It seems that multiple companies are experimenting with doing things like that, but at the moment, probably not LG, because that plan has probably been canned. Even though if you ask me, I'd like to see how it works out, because, well, hey, it looks interesting. Now, for our next article, we take a trip to Sweden. Apparently, the Swedish Language Council tried to add a new word to their dictionary. Unfortunately, it makes use of the Google brand name, and Google wasn't very happy. This article from geek.com is entitled, Sweden drops the word ungoogleable after Google complains. So here's the deal. The word Google has crept into our day-to-day language. Firstly as a noun to refer to the company, to refer to the service provided by the company, but then it has eventually turned into a verb. The act of Googling something becomes synonymous with searching for something. Now, it is pretty clear that Google is enjoying this attention unless someone actually uses it to point out something negative. You see, as the word ungoogleable quite clearly implies, this term refers to something that cannot be found on the internet, especially by a search engine. Clearly, Google took an issue with that. But surprisingly, what they really had a problem with was the fact that the term Google was actually used to refer to generic search. What they wanted was for the term to refer specifically to the Google service and not everything. So in fact, they submitted the request to the Swedish Language Council to tell them to actually modify the definition somewhat so that it only refers to Google. That's kind of a strange request, but well, whatever floats your boat. Unfortunately, the Swedish Language Council did not comply, they merely dropped the word altogether. I can't say whether there are any long-term implications regarding this, probably not. But yeah, it's interesting to see how technology is creeping into our language today. If you think that was crazy, check out this article from Gizmodo, entitled 3 Crazy James Bond Villains Caught Trying to Cut Through the Internet's Undersea Cables. You'd think we have enough to worry about considering things like hackers and malicious attacks, but here's how a cyber attack turns physical. According to the article, the Egyptian Coast Guard actually saw a suspicious looking craft. They realized that there were actually people diving underwater to do something, and upon further investigation they realized that these guys were trying to cut the internet cables. These are large fiber optic trunks running at the bottom of the ocean, so you would think that this would cause a pretty devastating effect if they actually managed to cut through the thing. If you're interested to find out more details about this, feel free to hop down to the video description where you will find a link to the Gizmodo article. A couple of interesting things in that article include firstly a photo of the 3 guys, so if you're interested to see that, as well as a map which actually shows the path of the cables as well as at which point these guys were trying to cut it. Weird and wacky, weird and wacky. Speaking of weird and wacky, well, for our last article I wanted something to fit into the theme. Unfortunately, I couldn't really find anything technology related, which is why, well, this article, which is indeed weird and wacky, isn't really technology related. But hey, you should get a good laugh out of this one all the same. This article comes from The Independent and is entitled Chinese Fishmonger Discovers Live Bomb Inside a Squid. Yep, you heard right, a live bomb inside a squid. Not only does the article carry a number of pretty good puns about bombs, it also mentions that the squid actually swallowed this 8-inch bomb carrying 3 pounds worth of explosives. And yes, despite the fact that it was kinda in a bad condition, it was actually a working bomb. The police actually had to remove it to carry out a controlled explosion. So yeah, all's well, it didn't actually hurt anyone, thankfully. And that's why we can actually laugh at this new story, because nobody actually got hurt. For a picture of the offending squid, well, I don't know if that's exactly the one, but you can actually head down to the video description, hop over to the link which will bring you to The Independent, and you will see a picture of the squid with a bomb inside. And that's it, that's all there is for this episode of Highlight Sundays. I have nothing much to vlog about this week. In fact, I probably haven't done anything meaningful this week, which is probably why. Which is why I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap up the show. So if you have any comments, queries or suggestions, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. Don't forget to check out the official Twitter page for this channel at twitter.com/0612tv. I appreciate every like, favorite and subscription you give me. But until next time, you're watching 0612TV. You see, the bubble tea straw setup has its disadvantages. Look at that bit of hair that I'll never get back. Provided it focuses. There you go. There, that's sacrifice. Hello and welcome back to Highlight Sundays. I forgot the week number again. You think doing this every week? I know that I have to look up the week number beforehand,